Hi, Jesse. Nice to meet you.
You too, Benjamin. Thanks for calling.
I've actually been meaning to talk to you for a while. I told myself that I would need to call you and talk to you before anything would ever happen to you. I'd be like, yo, I need to talk to Jesse. Absolutely.
Amazing. How old are you, Benjamin?
I'm actually 18 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to tell you that you've opened my eyes in ways that I could never understand as far as understanding what it means to be a man and being accountable and responsible for my actions. Like for a while, I'm actually black, so for a while, a lot of a lot of white people and like I just graduated from high school, and a lot of white people. Well, I didn't graduate, but I just finished high school. I have 2 credits missing, but a lot of white people. I would always blame them for racism when it was actually my fault and I wasn't accountable for my actions.
Right
and
on.
Watching your show made me realize that to stop lying to myself and just be accountable and be a man. I think that's the problem with most of Americans. Like they tend to blame people and not look inside and be like, oh, wow, maybe I am lying to myself. So I think that's a really big issue that needs to be spoken about, but a lot of white people are scared and let it happen. So that's one thing I wanted to...
You're absolutely right, Benjamin.
Yeah, okay, so basically I have this dilemma that I want to talk to you about.
All right.
Okay, so my parents are like financially dependent on me. So basically I work as a computer programmer and I make about 100,000, 80,000 a year. And
at 18 years old?
Yeah, I learned how to program myself on YouTube and on Google and on Code Academy. So it's something I developed on my own, and I told myself that I have to work hard, absolutely, right? And so I was able to get started on that. But I wanted to know, now that I've started working, my mom is constantly asking me for money and using the excuse that I'm her son and that I have to help her for that. And my dad doesn't seem to say anything about it. It's like he's kind of on her side, but yeah, but my dad is I'm closer to my dad than my mom after I started watching your show, but before I started watching your show, I had like a feminine perspective on reality. So like I would, how can I say this? I was very weak. I would feel bad, and I was very angry at my father, and I would judge him and resent him for how strict he was, and I had like more of a feminine perspective. So I was closer to my mom before. So that's why I had like I believed in racism and all that stuff, because I think that I had like a feminine perspective on reality. Like as far as what you say about having like the female spirit inside of you, I think that's very accurate.
That's amazing, man. For 18 years old, you are a wise young man. That is mind-blowing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so have you gone to your mother, forgiven her for turning you away from your father?
I haven't told her that directly, but I think I understand her and I don't judge her for it. Like in my heart, but I haven't physically went up to her and said, I forgive you. And the thing is, she wouldn't turn me away from my father like directly, but she would make me feel bad for her because my father was very strict towards her as well. And she would make me feel bad for her. And whenever he would get mad, well, he would never get mad. He would do what was best for her. And people tend to see someone telling someone the truth or doing what's best for them as them being mean or evil, but it's actually out of the good of their heart, like seeing what's best for you, right? And
yes.
For the longest time, I thought about that about my dad too. But I started watching your show, and it made me become closer to my father and understand him and not judge him. And I've actually felt at peace. Like I've never felt more at peace in my life before.
Amazing.
For a while, I actually like stopped believing in God for a bit because I resented my father in a way. And once I got onto your show, it made me become closer to my father again, and I feel at peace. But as far as the situation I'm talking about, like both my parents are on this side where I have to keep sending money because I'm their son, and like that's the one dilemma I have. Like as far as everything I've just said.
And so, your question for me is what?
How do I handle this situation where my parents are financially dependent on me, and I can't really say no, because you keep asking them to use the excuse that I'm their son?
You tell them that you're not their investment plan, that when they had you, that you were not, they didn't have you so that you could become their investment bank. They have to take care of themselves. And if you want to help, you will. If you don't, you won't. But you just tell them that's not the reason that they made a babies. If that was in their mind, they should have done it that way. You're not responsible for them.
Exactly. So, and I also still live with my mother and father, but I have the ability to move out. But I've talked to them about it, and they freaked out. They were like, you can't move out yet. You still haven't went to college and all these other stuff. But I have a job, and I know how to take care of myself. I'm not dependent on anybody.
You
right?
should move. You should move immediately.
You think so?
Yeah, you're a grown adult man. But look, once you go and because when your mother was acting like a victim, when your father was correcting your mother, and she was acting like a victim and caused you to take her side, that is a part of turning you away from your father. So you need to go and say, hey, I'm sorry for resenting you for turning me away from him, because you were playing victim, and as a child, she made you believe that the father was wrong and she was right.
Wow, I never seen it that deep, because people so women have ways to control you and manipulate you without even having to say it directly.
Absolutely, 100%. The spirit of the woman, which is the spirit of Satan, can manipulate you and control you without even saying a word.
Wow, that's very deep. I never seen that perspective. And
that's why the father is supposed to stand between the mother and the children, because the father is of love, which comes from God, and the woman is of hate, which comes from Satan, and it seems like a love, but it's a fake love. It's an imitation of the real thing, but it's not the real thing.
Yeah, I've realized that. They often do stuff for us and expect something in return. For example, if one of my sisters are to get me something, she expects to control me or get something out of it afterwards.
Yes.
It's never genuine. Yeah, I've noticed that. That's very accurate. There's also something else.
So hold on for a minute. I want to just one step at a time. So you need to go to your mother and forgive her. Say, hey, I'm sorry for hating you for turning me away from him, because you did have her mindset, the way she think.
Yeah.
Anyone, any human being that believe that racism exists is thinking like a woman and not like a man. They have a woman's mindset. And then forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother.
Yeah.
And you're on your way, man. You're doing amazing. And once you do that, it's just your eyes are gonna be open, wide open from within, and your life will just get better and better. And then you can say no to them or yes to them without feeling guilty.
Yeah, I think as far as that, I've always been a decent Christian. I'm not someone that has I believe the 10 Commandments. I don't have sex before marriage. I do all of these things because I think that being a Christian is more about actions than just saying. A lot of people tend to be I'm a Christian, but just say it as an image, but they don't actually apply it to their life. So 95% of the world are fake Christians as far as my perspective.
Yeah, they have no love.
Act. Yeah, and that is so true. I was angry when I was angry at some people in my family. I was angry at the whole world, because once you're angry at one person, you're angry at everybody. So
absolutely,
I was blaming white people, and white people are so kind. It's no matter how angry or mean you act towards them, they always tend to forgive you and overlook it. They have so much love.
Yes,
and I don't. And I really, that's something really cool. And something else I wanted to talk to you about is being an intellectual, because you know that the statistics and the facts that we have put out as how people educate themselves, they're very liberal. Most of the statistics, they go along with the liberal perspectives as far as being a homosexual and all that stuff. I think that statistics are very more leaning towards them.
Yes.
And now every fact that are out there in the world are satanic almost, in the sense where it doesn't align with love and God. So like that's why intellectuals are so stupid, because they rely on facts that the Democrats are probably paying the universities to put out there in the public. So
100%. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so you're 18 years old?
Yeah, I turned 18 like 3-4 months ago.
This is an amazing call, man. Wow.
Yeah, but most of my my conclusions come from your show. It's your show that, because I understand what you say very deeply. Like as far as what you were saying about how I've watched thousands of your videos, and it's allowed me to have a more logical perspective on reality. And it's like, wow, you're such an honest person as far as how you communicate to people. You're very honest, and people hate you for it. And I look up to that because I want to stay honest. And as a black man, people would be like, you're a sellout, you're lying. But it's just about being honest and being on the side of good and what's right.
Wow, Benjamin, you're absolutely right, man. 100%.
Yeah, Jesse, I think that you're like Trump. Before, I hated Trump, but I never actually knew anything about Trump. And I started educating myself on him, and he loves black people more than black people realize.
Yeah.
He's trying to show them the way of wealth, and a lot of selfish people, like celebrities, tend to tell people racism is real, you're oppressed, and not get them into thinking that you have to work hard in order to get money. So, and now Americans just want free stuff and take the easy way out and just wreaking havoc and all this stuff. It's like they're all being deceived and used for destruction.
Benjamin, you're a wise young man. God is with you, and
thank you.
It's good. Your life, you haven't seen anything, man. It's going to be interesting to see what your life is like as you get older, because you're going to avoid a lot of pain and darkness and a lot of stupid mistakes, man. God is with you. Let me ask, are you thinking of going to college?
I don't necessarily think I need it, because I've learned everything I've learned on Google and off YouTube, and I think that I would just be wasting money. But my parents really want me to do it, and a part of me wants to do it just for them. But as far as me personally, I don't want to go to college
because you have a direct link to logic, to God now, and if you go to college, they're gonna try to destroy that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to try to brainwash you and turn you away from God into their dark world. I've seen so many people go to college, they come out as dumb as a doorknob. They have no values. They don't believe in God anymore. But it's up to you to think about it, see what you want to do.
Yeah.
But don't do it because your parents want you to do it. You do it because you want to do it.
Exactly. And I also have a question about the New Testament and the Old Testament. You know how the New Testament is very Jesus says things like, if you slap me on the cheek, I will not slap you back. And it's a very everything is soft, and they perceive God as a very feminine father, and it's very misleading to people in their generation today. I talked to someone the other day, and he was telling me that if someone were to kill me, I would let him kill me because God would like that. And I would say God would not want you to let yourself be killed. It's they're trying to deceive people into having a weak, just a feminine way of acting out in the world. And the New Testament is so misleading, and that's why I try not to put all of my faith into the Bible and just educate myself through it, because a lot of the stories in the Bible are just symbolism on how to act in the real world.
Absolutely.
Every story just can teach you how to interpret different situations and how to act on it, but fleeting, because anybody can be I talk to God, I hear his voice in my head, but a lot of them are just lying and just controlling you and using you for your money.
When he said, if someone wants to slap you on one cheek, turn their head, he means don't hate. He doesn't mean don't defend yourself. He just said don't hate them for it, but you defend yourself. Yeah,
exactly. People used to go to war for their nation, but it wasn't out of hate or anger. It was the good of their people. Yeah, they're just conquering it.
Oh,
it's a manly thing to do. Yeah.
Benjamin, an amazing call. Call me again, man.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, but make sure I highly recommend you go and tell your mother you're sorry for hating her and your father for not protecting you. And it's just going to get better for you, all right?
All right. Thank you.
Let me know how it goes, but I wish you well. Call me again.
Yeah, for sure. You too.
All right.
God bless you.
You too, buddy. This man went on YouTube, learned engineering or whatever.
YouTube and Google got it. Uncle Google and to YouTube.
At 18, he's making that kind of money. What the? Why would he need college? He got common sense. He has logic. That is mind-blowing.
That's crazy.
What an amazing first call. I can go home now. Church is over. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.